Right now, somewhere in a forest, a human being is lying completely unconscious, no weapon in hand, no awareness of the world, snoring, drooling, dead to everything around them. 10 feet away, a leopard picks up their scent on the wind. It has claws that can open a rib cage, teeth built to snap a spine, every physical advantage a predator could ask for. And it does nothing. It turns around and disappears into the trees. This happens every single night all over the planet, and almost nobody stops to ask. Why the most efficient killers in nature keep walking past the easiest meal they will ever find? So let's actually ask it. Think about what a sleeping human actually is, from a predator's point of view. No claws, no fangs. Can't run. Can't see in the dark. Can't even hear a twig snap without waking up in a panic. By every measurable standard, we are the softest target in the entire food chain the moment our eyes close. A lion could walk into a campsite tonight and eat for free, and yet lions almost never do. Neither do wolves, tigers, bears, or jaguars. Something is stopping them. It isn't luck. It isn't rare. It's one of the strangest, oldest agreements in the natural world. And it starts with a fact that sounds almost arrogant until you see the evidence behind it. To the rest of the animal kingdom, we are terrifying, not individually. As a species, researchers in California once hid speakers near mountain lions and played recordings of ordinary people talking. Nothing aggressive, just conversation. The mountain lions fled almost every time, at rates matching or beating their reaction to barking dogs. Some abandoned kills they'd already made, food they'd worked hard to bring down, just to get away from the sound of a human voice. A predator giving up a meal it already has is about as costly a decision as nature allows. And they made it anyway. That fear isn't something predators learn in one lifetime. It's something we carved into their genetics over hundreds of thousands of years. Humans have been apex hunters for roughly 2 million years. We hunted mammoths into extinction. We wiped out giant sloths, saber-toothed cats, and cave bears, animals that had survived entire ice ages. In North America, we hunted wolves and mountain lions out of half a continent. Every generation of predator that got too bold around humans got killed. The cautious ones survived, bred, and passed that caution down. What looks like an animal being shy around people is actually thousands of years of natural selection whispering one instruction. Stay away from that thing. And it isn't only memory in their blood. It's what they smell on you right now. Bears can smell roughly 7 times better than a bloodhound. Wolves can pick up a scent from nearly 2 miles away. And what they're smelling on you makes no sense to them. Synthetic fabric, sunscreen, shampoo, leftover snacks, insect repellent. None of that exists anywhere in the natural food chain. A predator's hunting instinct is built around specific, familiar prey. The exact smell, shape, and movement of animals it has hunted 1,000 times. You don't match the pattern. You were simply never coded into the menu. It's not that predators lack the physical power to overwhelm us. It's that their entire targeting system runs on very specific inputs. The right silhouette, the right gait, the right smell profile. And we simply don't check any of those boxes cleanly enough for their instincts to switch on. Then there's the trick we figured out before almost anything else: fire. Fire triggers a near-universal fear response across land animals. And it isn't learned. It's instinctive. Animals raised in labs who've never seen a flame in their lives still flinch at the smell of smoke. For over 1 million years, humans have slept beside fire, and every predator nearby has gotten the same message. Something here controls the one thing every animal is born afraid of. We didn't just discover warmth. We discovered a nightly force field. Movies love to sell predators as fearless, killing machines that attack anything that moves. That's fiction. In the real world, a lion doesn't have health insurance. A wolf doesn't get sick days. One bad injury, a broken leg, a torn eye, a deep bite, can mean a slow death by starvation weeks later. So every predator on Earth is constantly running a silent calculation before it commits to anything. Is this worth the risk? A sleeping human fails that calculation almost instantly because we are completely unpredictable. And unpredictable prey is the most dangerous kind of prey to gamble on. Even our shape works against a predator's confidence. Standing upright on 2 legs makes us look larger and more imposing than our actual body weight would suggest. The same posture gorillas use to intimidate rivals. The same posture bears use when they want to look threatening. We do it as our default walking position all day, every day. So even lying down asleep, our outline still reads as strange and unfamiliar. Not the low, four-legged shaped predators are built to chase. And then there's the simplest reason of all. Why bother? A healthy predator in a healthy territory almost always has better options. Hunting a strange, unfamiliar target means risking injury for uncertain reward. When a rabbit or an antelope, it's hunted 100 times before it's standing right there in the next clearing. Field biologists studying jaguars in the Amazon and lions across East Africa have documented this pattern over and over. Healthy, uninjured predators consistently choose familiar prey over anything resembling a human encampment, even when that encampment is closer and easier to reach. The unfamiliar option simply never wins the calculation. It isn't bravery holding them back. It's arithmetic run instinctively thousands of times a night. Across every predator territory on Earth, the math never favors us. It only ever favors the easy known target. Here's something that rarely gets talked about. Your sleep is not the total blackout it feels like. You cycle between deep sleep and lighter stages throughout the night. And during those lighter stages, your brain is still quietly monitoring the environment. Scientists call it the sentinel function of sleep, a kind of partial night watch running in the background. Unfamiliar sounds are far more likely to break through and wake you than familiar ones. Humans who slept too deeply. Throughout our evolutionary history were the ones who didn't wake up in time. The light sleepers survived, and their genes are the ones running your nervous system tonight. It's an inheritance you never asked for, and one you'll likely never consciously notice. But it's there, every single night, quietly doing its job. We also almost never sleep alone out there. We camp in groups, and predators understand groups intimately, because their normal prey moves in herds too. A wildebeest at the edge of the pack is an easy target. One in the center is nearly untouchable. A camp full of sleeping humans works the same way. If one person wakes and shouts, the whole group reacts. That kind of chaotic, coordinated response is exactly the outcome a predator is built to avoid. Now, let's be honest, because leaving this out would be irresponsible. None of this means you're untouchable. In 1898, 2 lions in Kenya killed dozens of railway workers over several months, one of the most famous predator attacks in recorded history. But these weren't ordinary lions. One had severe dental damage that made its natural prey nearly impossible to catch. A tiger blamed for hundreds of deaths in India decades later was found to have been shot in the mouth years earlier, shattering its canine teeth. Case after documented case follows the same pattern. An injury, a destroyed habitat, a predator pushed past its normal limits by desperation, not by any taste for humans. Here's the part that genuinely reshapes how you see the whole planet. The fear we generate isn't just about individual encounters. It ripples through entire ecosystems. Where mountain lions avoid areas with heavy human activity, deer populations grow unchecked, and those deer overgraze the land. Meanwhile, smaller predators like coyotes and foxes also keep their distance, letting rodent populations expand. One species' inherited fear of us is quietly rearranging food chains across entire continents without us ever laying a hand on most of the animals involved. Researchers have measured this ripple effect directly. In some landscapes, the mere presence of human activity produces a measurable drop in predator, movement comparable to reintroducing an entirely new apex predator into the ecosystem. That's the scale of influence we carry, completely passively, just by existing nearby. So the next time you're lying in a tent, listening to something move in the dark beyond a thin sheet of nylon, and you feel that old flicker of fear, that's normal. Listen to it for a second. That rustle in the leaves, that snapped branch somewhere, past the tree line. Your nervous system is built to flinch at exactly that sound, because for hundreds of thousands of years, flinching at it was the difference between waking up tomorrow and not. That instinct kept your ancestors alive long enough to make you. But the thing moving out there in the dark, the one with the claws and the teeth and every physical advantage over you, it already made its decision before it got anywhere near your tent. 10,000 generations of history taught it exactly what you are, the same way 10,000 generations taught you to flinch at the sound of it moving. 2 ancient instincts quietly agreeing to leave each other alone. And it already knows better than to find out the hard way.